Welcome to Fulfillment Project. I'm Andy Leonard, and my Substack and this podcast is all about exploring what it truly means and how to live a fulfilled life. If you get something out of the podcast, I'd love for you to share this episode with someone who might find it meaningful. And don't forget to subscribe to my Substack newsletter and follow 5-star thumb up Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you get your comment. It really helps the almighty algorithm put our stuff out there. The goal is that everyone can identify with and find fruit in the content. For those who want to go even further, consider joining Fulfillment Project Premium. You'll get access to study guides for each article and other resources to unpack the nuances for each topic in your life. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. The process is the way. Finding fulfillment day by day. Growing up, I was always looking forward to the big moments, primarily Christmas and my birthday, because I would get special food and special presents that were way out of the norm of normal life. As I grew older, the big moments changed, but I was still looking forward to those big moments. Pay raises, promotions, vacations, and family milestones like marriage, buying a house, and having children. The day in and day out were just the road to these moments. But I had a wake-up moment when I turned 30. I was 10 years into my professional life, 6 years into marriage, and in the process of adopting our first son. It hit me like a ton of bricks. This is it. I'm going to be doing this for the next 30 to 40 years. I wrestled with that reality and gradually came to the realization that fulfillment, peace, and joy live in the ordinary, in the daily process of showing up. The rituals and routines for daily life are the path forward, much like Ryan Holiday's Stoic mantra in "The obstacle is the way." The challenges we face in life shouldn't be disregarded. They are the way of life. I'd say it's not just obstacles, but every moment, mundane and typical, that carves the way to the fulfilled life. Waking up to the ordinary. Most of us sleepwalk through life, tuning out the everyday, like Adam Sandler's character in Click, fast-forwarding to the highlights, only to realize decades later, we missed it all. Anthony De Mello's book Awareness nails this with a simple plea. Wake up! This is a book I picked up when I was feeling the weight of 40 years of normalness in front of me. He taught me to wake up, and I repeat this to myself many times out loud when I'm struggling. Wake up! Even in moments that feel insignificant. Washing dishes, mowing the lawn, folding laundry. These aren't chores to dread, but rhythms to embrace. They are the rhythm of life. One evening, while scrubbing a crusty pan, it hit me. This is the ritual of life. It is not something to rush, but something to savor. A chance to find gratitude in the act itself. Shifting my lens, this mundane and annoying chore became a moment of joy and gratitude. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The power of a daily process. Early in my sales career, I faced a brutal reality. Deals could take 1 to 2 years to close. Without immediate wins, it was easy to get down on myself and feel like I was just waiting for that deal to close. A friend and mentor, Brian Lepre, taught me to focus on the daily process. Making calls, refining pitches, following up. Each evening, I'd reflect on those small steps and feel progress, even if the payoff was months away. That process was my lifeline, a way to stay grounded when results were out of sight. Life's like that for most of us. The things that matter, relationships, growth, meaningful work, unfold over years, not days. If we're not engaged in the daily steps, we're not just missing the moment, we're missing the practice needed for what's next. Practice for life's game day. As an athlete, it's easy for me to think of life like sports. Practice isn't glamorous. It's repetitive, grueling, and essential. The ordinary daily moments, tough conversations, quiet mornings, daily tasks, are our training. If I'm not present for them, I won't be ready when the big moment hits. Bobby Unser says, success is where preparation and opportunity meet. I've come to see every moment, even the hard ones, as preparation. You never know when life's game day will arrive. So, you practice daily, staying sharp for whatever comes, and celebrating the small wins helps to keep the momentum. Celebrating the everyday. I'm a huge advocate for celebration. Friends know I will toast to anything. A solid workday, a good run, a clean kitchen. Not every celebration is a bash, but each one counts. It's practice for gratitude, training the mind to spot the good. In my wine business days, I met folks who'd save their best bottles for special occasions that never came. Those bottles gathered dust in the basement, unopened. My approach? Crack the good stuff now. The days we're celebrating. Maybe I nailed a pitch, had a good phone call, or perhaps I just got through a day completing all the tasks on my list. Either way, it's a victory. There's always something to be grateful for, and celebrating keeps us rooted in the present. Quote, to practice any art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow. So do it and celebrate every step, choosing joy amid the grind. Life isn't all highs. My job has one of the highest failure rates out there. And like most people, personal tragedy has been no stranger in my life. But as my older brother always says, we are what we think about. I choose to be a person of gratitude, joy, and celebration. And there's no better place to practice than in life's daily monotony. One of my favorite rituals is my morning routine. Since my brother-in-law introduced me 2 years ago, I begin most days with the cold plunge. 3 minutes in 35-degree water. It's brutal, but it reminds me that life is suffering, and I either accept it with open arms or fight a battle I know I will lose. It also helps because nothing I face that day will be tougher than sitting voluntarily in freezing cold water. Then I run a few miles in silence, soaking up nature's beauty and thanking God for the moment and giving him all I do, say, think, and suffer. A prayer I heard my dad say 1,000 times, and I adopted it for myself. These aren't peak moments, but they're the salt of life, adding flavor to the mundane. The challenge: build your process. The book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, How to Stay Emotionally Healthy and Spiritually Alive in the Chaos of the Modern World, inspired me to set aside a single day to reflect deeply. I went to a friend's lake house and sat in silence for 12 hours reflecting on, who am I? Who do I want to become? What is it going to take to get there? The fruit of this practice has been better than I anticipated. Every few months I pause to reflect again. I look at what's working, what's not, and tweak my process accordingly. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up consistently. The highs and lows of life keep coming, and I'm continually working on refining my daily processes, training myself to embrace the daily grind, the little choices. If you're looking for practical ways to enhance your daily life, I invite you to try this. Set aside one day this quarter to reflect on who you are and where you want to go. Design a simple daily process. Every few months, step back. What worked? What didn't? Adjust and keep going. That's the process, and it's a path to fulfillment, peace, and joy. The peaks and valleys will come, but life happens in the ordinary. Wake up to it, practice it, celebrate it, because the process is the meat of life. Feast! Thanks so much for joining me today. Can't wait to see you next time.